Hi, this is Dr. Louis Ortiz from Narcolepsy Network. I hope you're enjoying World Narcolepsy Day and are participating in showing the world what narcolepsy looks like. As you may know, the annual conference is one of Narcolepsy Network's highlights of the year. The Narcolepsy Network Annual Conference provides people with the opportunity to learn from world-renowned sleep experts, network with other people with narcolepsy, attend inpatient support groups, and meet with Narcolepsy Network leadership. We put in a lot of work to make sure that these topics are something that you'd want to hear about, attend, and all while having a lot of fun. Unfortunately, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we've had to postpone our in-person annual conference to October 1st, 2021. It will still be held in Philadelphia. This will also mark the 35th anniversary of Narcolepsy Network's annual conferences. However, that doesn't mean that we won't be able to connect and provide with great educational opportunities on topics that you care about on how to live your best life with narcolepsy. I'd like to take this opportunity to talk about our new initiative, the Narcolepsy Network Mini Conference Series. In place of our annual in-person conference for this year, this series will go over a lot of the same topics that we would normally be talking about at our annual conference. Best of all, it's free. Every 2 months, we'll provide relatively short talks on topics related to living with narcolepsy. Our first mini conference will be October 17th. To kick things off on October 17th, in addition to our annual membership meeting, we'll be talking about disability and work accommodations with narcolepsy. This is a topic I've been asked a lot about, and I really look forward to these presentations from two highly esteemed disability and work accommodations lawyers. Attorney Angel Verges has devoted her practice to helping individuals and families to navigate through Social Security disability. Her clients consist of both children and adults located throughout the country and have conditions that affect their ability to perform full-time work or engage in school-related activities. Ms. Burgess has been featured as a speaker on disability issues for a number of organizations, including the Hypersomnia Foundation, the National Alliance of Mental Illness, the Lupus Foundation of America, and the Cobb County Bar Association. Her session will examine options available to individuals when the symptoms of narcolepsy are making it too difficult to continue working. The benefits of short and long-term disability programs will also be discussed, compared, and contrasted to the benefits of Social Security disability. The application process for Social Security disability will also be examined, as well as Social Security Administration's criteria for evaluating the symptoms of narcolepsy. For our next session, Chicago employment lawyer Gary Savine will describe disability protections in the workplace, including, most importantly, the right to reasonable workplace accommodations, and offer tips on how those living with narcolepsy and their advocates can best navigate these issues to protect their job and enhance their careers. Mr. Savine brings over 2 decades of expertise on solving workplace disputes. He has practiced employment law at 2 of Chicago's top law firms and served as chief employment counsel at Navistar and Hillrom Holdings. Mr. Savine represents both businesses and employees at all levels to resolve workplace issues. I'm really excited about these presentations. However, one of the things I love about conferences is the swag. T-shirts, pens, tote bags, I love them all. And our mini conferences won't be any different. If you register and attend the mini conference and fill out our feedback questionnaire, after the conference, you'll receive a free Narcolepsy Network face mask, again for free. Just to repeat myself, all you have to do to get a free Narcolepsy Network face mask is to register for the mini conference, attend at least one of the presentations, and answer our questionnaire on how well we did with this mini conference. If you can't make it, or maybe you'd like to get a second mask, please consider joining Narcolepsy Network or renewing your membership. Anyone who signs up for membership or renews their membership by October 31st, 2020 will also receive a Narcolepsy Network face mask. You can find more information on our website shown here. Narcolepsy Network is nothing without our membership. Support from our membership allows us to continue to produce programming like these virtual education days, as well as other programming such as our Youth Ambassador program, our Connect program for young children with narcolepsy, our annual in-person conference when we eventually get to have one, as well as our support groups both in person and virtual. If you're not a member, I highly recommend that you join today. And if you're due for your renewal, well, now's your chance to renew. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me, and I hope you have a wonderful World Narcolepsy Day. I'm going to stick around for a little bit longer to answer any questions you may have. Thank you, and have a nice day. The conference, so I'm taking questions right now. So I see one question. When was the conference again? So our mini conference is going to be held on October 17th, 2020. I think there's going to be some feedback because I accidentally didn't mute all the sounds. So forgive that for the feedback here. So let me just mute myself. The conference, so I'm taking questions right now. So I see one question. When was So if there's no other questions, I'm going to stick around for a little bit longer. So if anyone's still watching, so this is a example of the mask that you would get if you register for the free mini conference. Watch at least one of the presentations and then fill out the questionnaire to let us know how we did. It is a cotton mask, the front part. The trim is nylon, but it's really it fits different kinds of faces. So I have one. I have a pretty big jaw. It fits me pretty well. And then our executive assistant Christine, she has a smaller face. It fits her very well as well. So is this global or just North American based? So I feel that this is open for anyone in the world, the actual event. I'm not sure if we'd be able to mail out a mask to you. It kind of depends, like maybe if you're in Canada or somewhere else in North America, we'd probably be able to mail it out to you, but other parts of the country, I may not be able to get this mailed out to you, but you're more than welcome to attend our virtual seminar. Now, if you're outside of the United States, this may not be relevant for you because we do deal a lot with American disability laws and American working accommodations laws. I would suggest that you kind of see if there's a local organization for your country to talk with them about. However, I feel that some things can be relevant, and you're more than welcome to register and attend. Do I have narcolepsy? Yes, I have type 1 narcolepsy. I've been pretty upfront about it. I was diagnosed when I was about 20 years old. I have had symptoms since I was around 10, and try to make the most out of it. And it's kind of one of my bigger passions in life, to help other people with narcolepsy as well. Great questions. I'm really excited that people are asking questions here and enjoying World Narcolepsy Day. This is a great day for everyone around the world to kind of show everyone else what narcolepsy looks like. It's not like what you see in the movies. And let's see. So those are the 3 questions we've had so far. With cataplexy, yes, type 1 narcolepsy is narcolepsy without cataplexy. Oh, with cataplexy, type 1 is with cataplexy. So I do have cataplexy. It is a very mild cataplexy compared to other people. with cataplexy. I get a lot of like knee buckling. If I get surprised by a kind of like a racy joke like that catches me off guard, I may do something more obvious, like maybe my hips and knees will give out. But yeah, that's a good chunk of my cataplexy. Same, yeah. And Jason Hodgkiss says I was listed as narcolepsy back. Okay, well, this may be a helpful talk for you, Jason. It deals with work accommodations. I don't know if you work or disability, and we, like I said, we talk about partial and short-term disability versus long-term disability versus going on Social Security disability. Is leg cramps part of the symptoms? So leg cramps are not really part of the symptoms of narcolepsy. The motor part of narcolepsy is just cataplexy, which is loss of motor tone. So cramps is when your muscles tense up. So it's like almost the opposite of cataplexy. Now, if your symptoms aren't well controlled and you're stuck in bed all day, you're not as well conditioned. Maybe you're more prone to do cramps. But no, yeah, cramps is not necessarily a part of narcolepsy. And I'd love to talk some more, like if you want to ask some more about questions about these mini conference series or the future of the in-person annual conferences, I'd be happy to answer any other questions. We are still planning on having in-person conferences. Next year will be October 1st, 2021. We'll have it in Philadelphia. We have a wonderful site in Center City with lots of access to other fun things to do when you're not learning about living with narcolepsy. Okay, so it's been a few minutes or a minute. As always, if you do have questions regarding Narcolepsy Network, oh, there's another question. Is Provigil a common medicine you suggest? Yeah, it's a very common. I think it's one of my first go-to medications. But a lot of people can be managed with things like methylphenidate or Adderall, which existed before Provigil. And other people are managed well with Provigil or the other related medications. And some people need new medications. In Dubai from South Africa, looking for work, coping with medicine, was on Ritalin. So, one of the topics we will be talking about in the future for December is going to be our Narcolepsy 101 talk, which we will discuss medications. And I would like to ask you to keep an eye out for that talk because I think that'll be very relevant about these kinds of questions. Nina asked, I missed the dates. So the date for this upcoming mini conference, which is going to be dealing with disability and workers' accommodations, will be on October 17th. That is a Saturday. And then Red Hope says, how can you tell narcolepsy crashes with chronic fatigue syndrome? So I think the key point is in between narcolepsy crashes, you feel good, you feel awake, or you feel as if how you would have been if you had slept that night, assuming you did sleep that night. And then all of a sudden you feel as if you hadn't slept in a day or two, and then you need to sleep. You go to sleep, you sleep for 20 minutes, you wake up, you feel a lot better. Of course, you may instantly feel like you need to go back to sleep a minute later or 5 minutes later or an hour later. But there's a time frame between when you wake up and when you go to sleep that you feel good. And then all of a sudden you're hit with the feeling as if you hadn't slept. So really great questions, and a lot of good questions that are going to be relevant to our December talk. But I hope you guys come up with some really good questions to ask these really great lawyers that we've asked to present regarding disability and narcolepsy, as well as workers' accommodations with narcolepsy. This is a topic that I've been asked a lot about, and it's actually a topic that I don't know much about. And so I'm going to actually learn a lot on that day because, I don't know what happens when your symptoms get to the point where you can't work, or maybe you need a little bit extra help. Like maybe you need help in doing your work, but you can do it well otherwise. So these are important topics to learn about, and I really encourage everyone to attend. And also, as well as if you're not a member, I would encourage you to join Narcolepsy Network. When you join Narcolepsy Network, you support this organization in being able to produce these talks and other events. You also get a newsletter and emails regarding updates in research, clinical studies, and medical trials, as well as other educational opportunities like these. And don't forget, if you're not haven't followed, if you haven't followed us on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, please do so. We also communicate a lot of these things on our social media channels. Any suggestions for single moms with narcolepsy? That is another topic that we will be talking about. So it is very tough. Definitely building a good support network for to allow you to unload some of the work is going to be helpful. We do have a planned talk of being a mom with narcolepsy. We definitely have a lot of moms with narcolepsy in our membership. We definitely have a few moms with narcolepsy on the board of directors, and they would love to share some more information. So we will be talking about this in the future. But right off the bat, making sure you're on top of your meds, trying to get as much sleep as possible. I know it's tough when you have kids, but there's certain things that has to happen, or else you're not going to have a good time. So really great questions, everyone. So I'd like to thank everyone for joining us this afternoon to talk about the upcoming Narcolepsy Network mini conference series. That will be a free virtual event that will occur every 2 months. This is going to be a kind of holdover for our annual conference until we can safely do an in-person annual conference. It is tough. Kathy says it's tough being a nurse with 12-hour shift work, and yes, it is. As a physician, it is very tough. There's certain times where things are it's very difficult to stay awake and do what you need to do. Being on medications is part of it. Being on top of your sleep hygiene is part of it, and kind of identifying what are your strengths and weaknesses is also going to be part of it as well. So thank you everyone for the questions. I won't be able to answer all of them. Again, if you have any more questions regarding the annual conference or the mini conference series, please join us. I'll be back on Facebook again at 6 o'clock to answer some more questions. And I look forward to seeing you at our mini conference series otherwise. Thanks again and have a wonderful day.